What's up everyone, it's Bruce Waha. Hope y'all are having a good day. Today's episode of Wingman Wednesday, we're going to be talking about being on a special duty at tpmrc-e as a 4AO. Now there are a variety of special duties that a 4AO can volunteer for. I'm just going to be sharing my experience of the patient movement process at tpmrc-e. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe the video if you like what we're doing here at Wild at Heart. Alright, let's get into it. Perhaps you're looking at volunteering at tpmrc-e, or you're at a different unit and you're wondering how that ties into your mission. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about that and the whole patient movement process.
My AFSC is 4-Alpha-0X1, that is Health Services Management, and I'm currently on a special duty as a patient movement controller for tpmrc-e. I just completed 8 years time in service, and I am a staff sergeant. I am part of a geographically separated unit, or a GSU. The unit that I'm attached to here at Ramstein is tpmrc-e. That stands for Transcom Patient Movement Requirement Center East. I know it's a lot of acronyms. We're actually tri-service, which means that we have Navy, Army, and Air Force personnel. Our home unit is Scott Air Force Base back in the States, and that's Transcom. Now, tpmrc-e has 3 areas of responsibility. That means that we cover all patient movement for EUCOM, AFRICOM, and CENTCOM. So, if a military member or DoD civilian becomes ill or injured in any of those areas, we actually are responsible for their patient movement, which covers about 80% of the global patient movement.
Now, tpmrc-e, which is located in Ramstein, Germany, coordinates with tpmrc-e. Now, upon arrival of the patient at the port of entry, tpmrc-e will take over and coordinate any further transition that that patient needs to its destination facility. Now, in conjunction, tpmrc-w, which is located in Hawaii, does the same thing for patients moving throughout PACAF. Now, all 3 units work cohesively, as well as with other military branches and countries to move patients. Now, this would include not only military personnel, but retired expats, DoD contractors, as well as civilian personnel. Now, these individuals can be located on ships, as well as in foreign nations. Essentially, this allows us to move any qualified patient from any point in the globe to a designated and qualified medical center of excellence.
So, as a PMC, my primary job is to review all patient movement requests. So I ensure that all of the admin information in there is correct and is validated. Now, tpmrc-e works with multiple organizations to coordinate the aircraft that is used, the team that is deployed, and the areas or hospitals that these patients are going to be picked up at and delivered to.
Now, a couple of teams that tpmrc-e actually works in conjunction with constantly are IRPS teams and PAD teams, either at the originating facility or the destination facility. We communicate with them to be sure that we have the most accurate snapshot of this patient that we can. That way we can know where these patients are going, the type of care that they're going to receive, as well as any special care that they need in transition. Now, originating teams have direct contact with the patient, so they can give us the most accurate snapshot of this patient at the starting point. We in turn take this information and relay it to the receiving team if it's a direct team. And if anything changes in the air, they let us know and we coordinate that with the receiving team. So if a patient changes classifications in the air, the receiving team has the new classification and can meet all the requirements that that patient needs. Now, the PAD teams work in conjunction with the LNO. The LNO is responsible for coordinating any additional care that the patient's going to need and accommodations that the patient will require, as well as any inmate that comes with the patient or family members.
Now, my current unit, we're on what is known as a Panama schedule, which is 24-hour operations, roughly a 12 to 13-hour shift. Now, the great thing is you only work about 15 days out of the month, which means that you work 2 days, you're off 3. Then you work 3 days and you're off 2.
Now, the best way that I can describe the work tempo is to compare it to a UCC or an MCC on a 24/7 basis. It's a demanding environment, but you learn a great deal from your counterparts, being Army and Navy personnel, as well as the capabilities that we have as the U.S. military. Now, some of the prerequisites that a 4A will need if they're trying to volunteer at a tpmrc is that they have to be multidimensional in many aspects of the 4A career field. Essentially, AE, flight medicine, communications, and readiness skills are sought after in all applicants that are looking to volunteer. Now, these people will also need to be able to operate independently on a 24-hour schedule. So that means that a 4AO will have to act as a one-stop shop to address and resolve any challenges that any part of the team experiences administratively, technically, or systematically. Now, being part of this high-tempo team means that all parties and all team members are very well-rounded in their career field. That means that they'll be able to adapt and address any challenges they encounter during a patient movement process. Now, the more skills that you have underneath your belt make you a more well-rounded candidate. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of Wingman Wednesdays. I hope you found that information beneficial. If you have any questions regarding being assigned at a tpmrc or any part of the patient movement process, be sure to leave that down in the comments below. As always, I'm Bruce Sawaha, asking, hey, where's your wingman? Y'all take it easy.